Have you ever had one of those days where you have something to look forward to at night and you're so excited about it, you just can't focus? Here's an example. It's the opening night for the movie you've been looking forward to seeing for over a year. All day, you're daydreaming about how you can't wait to dress up for it. If you're going to get the popcorn or the candy, if you need to get there early to get the seat with the perfect view. And the best part, you're going with people who are just as excited as you. The lights go down, the trailers come up, and then the movie starts. All your stress from the day has dissipated, and you've entered a new world, surrounded by the people that you care about. After the movie, you walk out of the theater and you don't know what to say. You're literally at a loss for words. And after a few minutes, you all look at each other, and then the moment hits. Did we just see the best movie ever? It blew me away. That made my day. Events like this were recurring experiences for me as a teenager. But there was one particular movie theater experience that was so powerful, I saw it 4 times in the first 9 days of its release. Here's the proof. I can assure you, by the way, I went back and saw that movie many more times after that. Why did I see The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King so many times in theaters? Was I a fan of that movie? Absolutely. And I'm sure if you or someone you know saw cultural events like this one, or Jaws, Star Wars, Titanic, Harry Potter, Wicked, the list goes on, you can probably relate to that movie theater experience that felt bigger than yourself. That it's not just about seeing the movie. It's about how you see it and who you see it with. Now imagine where these cultural and collective events stop, where they are no longer promised and simply looked back on as part of history. That is a reality we are approaching. Movie theater attendance has declined significantly since 2003. Watching movies from home, it's more convenient than ever. This is a sign of something that is becoming increasingly harder to come by, shared experiences. So I want to ask you something. Is a shared experience with others, like going to a movie theater, something you still want to exist? As I got older, something clicked. I started to realize it wasn't just about movies like Lord of the Rings. It was because I wanted to share the feeling of joy I felt from that experience with others. When I saw Lord of the Rings 4 times in 9 days, I kept wanting to bring my family and friends to this movie with me. Sitting next to them, watching them feel the joy I felt, left me with emotions so deep, I've never really left them. It made me think, I don't know what this feeling is exactly, but I'll be chasing it forever. And I still am. But while that hasn't changed for me, the way we view films sure has. Technology and world events have reshaped how we socialize and spend time together. The pandemic gave us a glimpse into a world without shared experiences. It wasn't just movie theaters. Bars, gyms, concert venues, sporting venues, coffee shops, all closed doors. And with them, opportunities to connect. Movie studios in those unprecedented times had no choice but to adapt to consumer behavior. Movies were mostly delayed, released to streaming, and essentially movie theaters went dark. But the movie industry was already heading in this direction. Before the pandemic, the window between a theatrical and at-home release was already shrinking. Today, studios continue to merge, and streaming is increasingly prioritized over theatrical releases. That means fewer movies in theaters and fewer chances for shared experiences. With the rise of generative AI, the future of shared experiences might be more artificial than authentic. And on top of that, there's no denying that social media content consumes our eyeballs any time we have a free minute. Sometimes it's just easier to stay home and scroll. It's hard to imagine things will return the way they used to be. And it's safe to say that we now live in a time when the shared experience of places like the movie theater is no longer a focal point of culture or society. And if we're not careful and don't continue to nurture this industry, there could be a day in the future when the big screen goes permanently small and the ritual of going out to the movies goes away. This scares me. The idea of the movie theater potentially becoming obsolete made me realize just how much I care about that shared experience with others. Because movie theaters, in many ways, saved my life. One thing I didn't tell you about when I saw Lord of the Rings, this was a time in my life where I've never felt so lost. I mean, sure, I can put on a great smile. But I was struggling a lot with anxiety, self-confidence, and bullying, and all I wanted to do was escape. But more than escape, I needed connection. Watching Lord of the Rings alone at home, it might have entertained me, but watching it in theaters gave me something different: belonging. When you're able to be surrounded by people engaging in the same thing that you are, it sends a powerful message to someone that you're not alone. It's a basic instinct we need to keep going, and it stays with you long after the movie theater. Trust me. I don't know what I would have turned to if that escape and that connection were not shared experiences like the movie theater, and I know I'm not alone in feeling that way. That's the power of the immersive collective experience of the big screen. It's a place where new worlds feel possible, and sometimes so do new versions of yourself. I worry future generations may not have that same opportunity. As a creative director and adjunct instructor, I've been fortunate to meet so many of our university students from across the country. I've been able to travel to them to capture their stories, and I've been able to spend time with campus students, helping them bring their short films and creative projects to life. I think about the younger generations of today who are fed endless hours of demoralizing news headlines on a daily basis, where doom scrolling and instant gratification are major distractions, and the fears of cyberbullying are constant. If going to the movie theaters was my escape, my connection, where I didn't feel bullied or judged, could it be for others too? And if so, do they even realize this? That question inspired me to create a new course called Think Big, Filmmaking for the Big Screen. It's a course where a student doesn't just get introduced to the foundational skills of video production, but also a place to discover how the movie theater and its shared experience with others can make a bigger impact than watching a movie at home. In case you're wondering, yes, this includes an actual assignment where they have to go see a movie in a movie theater. A movie theater can be an extension of the classroom, a place where you can have a window to the world and discover empathy for others, a place where a generation can put down their small screen to share a collective experience with the big screen. And sometimes it's not always about seeing the best movie ever either, right? In fact, there's a case to be made that the shared experience with others can be just as impactful if the movie is bad. Think back to that scenario in the beginning when you're walking out of the theater saying, "Did we just see the best movie ever?" Would you agree that experience could be just as much of a bond if you walked out and said, "Did we just see the worst movie ever?" It can create inside jokes, build friendships, and still provide a much-needed connection, even when it's referenced years later. To keep these experiences around, we need to recognize both their fragility and power. Over time, they are becoming less guaranteed, and we cannot take them for granted. So support them, like seeing a movie in a theater before waiting for it at home. Share the joy you have for it with others, whether it's the people in your life or, if you're lucky like me, students of the next generation. Through time, the movie theater can transcend social barriers, giving people of all ages from different cultures and backgrounds a chance for a life-changing experience. If I'm one of them, maybe it can be for someone else. Maybe one day, that someone else is them. Remember that feeling I'm still chasing? I want my daughters to have a chance to feel it too. The feeling of a core memory of seeing their first movie in theaters when the world opened back up. To feel a sense of wonder. For the first 20 minutes of the movie. The world my children are growing up in is so different than the one I grew up in, when feeling at home wasn't always about being at home. So I'm here today to advocate for what their future could still be. There'll be a day in the future when they may go through something hard, something that makes them feel hopeless. And when they're in that moment, I hope they too find that feeling I felt that can save their life. That's what's at stake if shared experiences disappear. So whatever one is important to you, just know it's worth saving. And to my kids who might be watching this in the future, if you're a teenager right now and you find yours, hold on to it. It might not be here forever. Fight for its survival. Fight for that feeling. And when you feel it, never let it go. Thank you.